pass and all that. So it's a good thing. I wish her well and safe trip.
All right.
Okay. How do you feel with this story, the second one, talking about closed portion of Amobia Agris of Enugu on the Chadwa Carriage Road being opened? You know, it has been closed for a very long time now.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very good omen for the motorists, the commuters, those transversing from different parts of the country, getting into Anambra State, and especially that Amobia that was closed for some time now for some maintenance. Yeah, it's going to facilitate the movement because what happened was that because of the closure, all motorists goes through the under, and sometimes some road grid are there, some hold-ups and all that. So what it means is that if you are coming from Enugu or Oka, you climb that up and move to the place you are going without subjecting yourself to.
Unless you are entering the Amobia town.
Unless you are entering the Amobia town. So it will ensure easy flow and easy movement this period. Yeah.
Okay. Quickly, let's go back to the papers we have this morning. The first one is the Sun newspaper with the big story there, Christmas. Food price fares rise as Tinubu approves 50% transport subsidy. Federal government takes over half interstate travel cost by vehicles, 100% for train trips for 15 days. And out there, Rivers parties implement peace accord terms. And then Oshunmu, the biggest threat to APC, says Amosun. Lalong sworn in as senator, Akpabio declares Gaidam Omahi's seat vacant. And then the president submits names of 11 Supreme Court Justice nominees to Senate for confirmation. Nigeria's debt climbs to 87.91 trillion naira. This is a report from DMO. Labour Party tackles ABGA over attack on Nwoye orders. Fire raises multi-million worth of goods in Abia and Anambra State. Well, these are the stories trending on the front page of the Daily Sun this morning. Let's start with the big story because I know everyone will be interested to talk about it. The food price affairs as Tinubu approves 50% transport subsidy. Now, how do you feel about this news? And then this 50% transport subsidy, what are you concerned about the implementation? And then to what extent will it go to, cushion the effect of the hike in petroleum prices in the country, especially this festive period?
I don't know what the intention of the federal government and the Tinubu, because this the approach they are using is ad hoc, cosmetic, and this to me, I'm not comfortable with the approaches. One is they have said that the refinery they are working on will be ready by December, and nobody is talking about that now.
What's the refinery?
They mentioned one that that will be ready in December.
Okay, the
Refinery.
Yes.
So, how far is the refinery? Is the date still achievable? That's what we'll be hearing. Not this ad hoc and cosmetic approach to the issue. This, the food prices rising, everything that revolves around this fuel problem. So once it's not solved, you still get what you are getting. So I don't believe in this. Let them go to the root of the matter and tackle it. That's when you have to you know that you are solving a problem.
Do you understand what we're talking about here? Now, looking at federal government taking over half
Half.
interstate travel costs by vehicles, I don't understand. How is this thing going to happen?
I think what they're trying to say is that those vehicles that belongs to federal government mass assisted transport.
Those
So if
vehicles.
if you want to travel with those vehicles, maybe you get subsidized, and that's where the subsidy will be applied.
Okay. No, they didn't mention the details here.
No, they didn't mention the
Okay.
details there. But then to tell
It's
us
still-
that 100% for train trips
For 15
for,
days.
for 15 days, you understand? So if you don't live in the area where the train passes, what happens?
You won't get
You-
such
you
that's
won't-
why I'm not comfortable with what the whole thing is still cosmetic and ad hoc. The root of the matter is not yet tackled. So you'll be getting how do you check their transport, their refineries and sustain whatever they are doing? So I don't see a reason why the federal government can't assemble these people, make them form cooperatives, and make sure that
Okay, you mean the people that are running this
yes,
refinery?
yes,
Okay.
and make them form cooperatives and empower them, use what they have, their talents, to do a genuine business, so that this illegal thing will stop. While they are doing their own bigger refineries.
So it means that these people already have the knowledge of how to refine
Yes.
this oil.
Yes.
So you are saying now that the government should engage them so that
Yes.
it's no longer be tagged illegal refining.
Yeah. They form a cluster.
Okay.
And each time you go to where they are, you can know who they are, supervise what they are doing. But if you leave it, you'll be getting these illegal refineries.
So, but are you sure that even if the government called those people together, probably put up modular refineries in different locations where we find this kind of people, do you think that it's still going to end? Don't you think that so many people will still come up tomorrow to start their illegal refining?
That will be minimal.
It
will be very minimal.
It will be minimal.
Because-
and secondly, there is even money to be made from this thing, because most of these people steal this crude oil to refine. They don't have access to buying it from the government.
Yes.
So this will curb this our oil theft we're talking about, because when you have 21 million liters of crude, if you refine that, that is enough to even service 2 or 3 states. You understand? Of their fuel need for like 2 or 3 days. So I think it's high time the federal government will need to look into this and let us see if the federal government themselves, state or federal government themselves don't have a hand in this. Because you never can tell me that these people will just wake up one morning and then have the apparatus to just go, illegally tap oil and then start refining. Where does the money go? Where the money that they get in financing this, where does it come from? So there's a whole lot the federal government needs to really look into this. And then Army retires 113 generals and pledges support for democracy. This is a story that's kind of based on what is happening in Africa recently, where general armies are taking over government. Is Nigeria trying to prevent or forestall a thing of such happening by retiring 113 generals? You understand? And then they are saying they are pledging support for democracy. Is it after the retirement that they are pledging support or voluntary retirements? I really don't understand this.
The person pledging support is
The chief of
Yes.
staff.
So not the retired ones. But what I can say on that is that, there's a due process, and going through the ranks, you are employed, or you employed into the military, and you know where you started. You are growing through the ranks. There's promotions. There's where you are working and all that. And you are supposed to serve your country for 35 years.
Yeah.
So when you are at the entrance, you know when you are going. So, for the military to say, we are tiring. We are tired. Are they due to retire? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the question, begging for an answer.
Yes.
Probably they might be due for retirement and that's why they are going. Or there's something else that we don't know, and they're not telling us at the end of the day.
so-
But I also want to counter what you said a little bit, because I know that in most of these countries where we have this military taking over, it's from
The low-ranking
low-ranking officers. Yes, not the
generals.
Yeah, of course. Yes, it's not the general. So it's either they are due to retire, having reached the age or the this thing, or they have some other things that
No.
they have in
Yes,
their.
that is an internal issue. Maybe we are not meant to know what
No,
actually
yes,
is happening.
yes.
But then again, I think maybe after here we can go and get the full story on page.
Yep.
5 of the Punch newspaper. But this other story, federal government caught external borrowing. I mean, should we be happy over this kind of news, stopping external borrowing? But as it is today, we are owing 88 trillion naira.
Well,
It's not that all that sharing news, because look at the figure you called now. It's still staggering and frightening. So what they caught is not something to let them cut all of them, so that we have a clean bill. And, during the time of President Olusegun Obasanjo, he made sure that all our debts were liquidated. With the expert hands he has during that time, like Obieze Kwesili and Okonjo Iweala. So let the current government borrow a leaf from them and see how they can, cut off this debt profile.
All right, our next paper is the Delhi Independent newspaper. The big story there: 5th generation 5G network. Telcos struggle to deploy services as subscribers' interest fades. Harsh economy, high forex rate, or the slow penetration. Reps demand quality service delivery for Nigerians. JAM justifies extra fee for 2024 UTME. Tinubu cuts interstate luxury buses fares by 50%, says all trains routes are free. Air transportation exempted from package. Okay. Reps urge adoption of Chinese yuan as additional reserve currency. Akpabio declares Omahi Gledam's senatorial seat vacant, swears in Lalong as Plateau South senator. NJC begins a probe into petitions against Chief Judge. Oshomole most destructive threat to APC, says Amosu. Senate asks the IGP to compel CAC Registrar General to appear before it within 24 hours. Okay. Rivers crisis. We won't return to PDP, defected lawmakers. Withdraw impeachment notice against Governor Kubara. Lagos orders evacuation of shops along Tinkan Port corridor. Okay, interesting stories we have here. Okay, so Jerry.
yeah.
Let me begin with NJC begins probe into petitions against Chief Judge.
Okay.
I guess this Chief Judge must be Chief Judge of Nigeria, because they didn't indicate. If it is the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, that would be an interesting one, because I know a lot of petitions, including the petitions this part of the country wrote. One is that he actually he deliberately did not include any judge of the Supreme Court from the Southeast, and I think some South. The justice of the Supreme Court is supposed to be about 21, but he held on to less than 10 or 10. and most of them did not came from the southwest and some other listen. And you know, you can say that since some people were not there or sidelined, that their interests will not be protected. And we were calling, people were calling for him to, you know, make up what constitutes the Supreme Court, but he deliberately refused. And you can see the judgment we got. It wasn't anything to write home about, both locally and international. You know, the ones he appointed, most of them were, you know, either, you know, from their own area or whatever. And so a lot of things is begging for answer for the Chief Justice of Nigeria. So it's a lot. Some, you know, it was alleged that he camouflaged himself as being paralyzed sometime and went to UK and met the current president and all that. So we are so disappointed with the man. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not acquitted of any of most of the petitions against him. You know.
Well, let's see an interesting caption here saying Oshomole most destructive threat to APC. That's coming from Amos. Yesterday we covered a story where Oshomole was accusing some state governors, you understand, of blowing out of proportion, you know, the party money in securing election. And today some other person is coming up to say, Amosu precisely, that Oshomole is most destructive threat to APC. So does it mean that you can't even say anything wrong?
Maybe he's affected. He's also affected, so he's free to say anything he wants to say. That's how I say it. Because why will you come and say somebody that is bringing out everything in the open? Because even though I know that it should be an internal thing because we have different political parties in the country, but then again, he had the courage to come out to probe those people, to talk to them. How did you spend so money? And now somebody is coming to say that what he's doing is not good. That is the most destructive threat they have in APC. Then there is something hidden that they don't want us to do.
Yes, in Nigeria, if you come out to say the truth, you'll be attacked. Those people that held the country down, making the country cabals, will not want the truth to surface. Because they know if the truth surfaces, the people will know and may do something that may not be pleasant. Oshomole, even though that is an APC man, came out to say, look, these things was not the right thing. And he also, in the plenary of the Senate, he also summoned up courage to tell the Minister for Budget and all that, look, there's some loophole in the budget we are presenting, this. And the colleagues attacked him, APC member. Why should he be saying that in the open, that? So that's the thing you get from the people that did not want this country to progress. So Oshomole is, I commend him for being bold to say what he said and damn the consequence, because the truth must be told, irrespective of whose ox is God. Yeah.
Quickly, let's go to the next paper that we have for review this morning, which is the This Day newspaper. And the banner headline there screams, Senate screens South Supreme Court Justice nominees Abiru, Samani, Adumien, Sankey, Uwa, Nwosu Iheme, Ugboniya, Ada, Tuko, Umar, and Idris frowns at emergency appointment by NJC. For smoother Yuletide, federal government approves free transportation for commuters. And we also have Nigeria's public debt grows by 0.61% in 3 months to 87.91 trillion naira. Wow, that's all we have there on this day newspaper. Okay, Lamido. Tinubu didn't broker peace in Rivers. He enhanced APC's fortunes. Well, that's good. Well, that's why some PDP members are frowning at that peace accord, saying that it's more like Fubara tying himself both hands and legs. You understand? So I don't really know. But to me, I think the president should have better things meddling into that. Wike and Fubara having their let's say godfather and godson tussle of supremacy. Quickly, what do you have to say about? You just talked about this. The Supreme Court and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this issue between Wike and his godson, Fubara.
Yeah, you know, everywhere in the world, there's always what you might term a lead giver, or in Nigerian parlance, godfather. So it's somebody that can give you a lead. For instance, because I have a wider reach and some economic power, I can say, AJ, I think you can do this job. You are qualified to do this job. I'm recommending you. You can say that I'm the godfather. I give you the support. We can reach an agreement or not. So that at the end of the business, or at the end of the election, if God wills and you are there, this is what we will do for me and for my people. And we go to the field. Eventually, when we win, you can be a gentleman by keeping to the terms of your agreement. But some people have been issue. If you know that the terms of agreement did not suit you, you can say, no, I can't cope with this. But once you agree on the terms, the onus lies on you to stick to it. So what caused the problem in Rivers State is that Fubara did not keep to terms of the agreement. And the man you call the godfather didn't take it lightly with him. That is or was what is playing out in Rivers State. So, but if I am weaker, I wouldn't have pounced on him. Barely less than, is it up to 6 months? I wouldn't have pounced on him. Barely less than 6 months or 6 months. I will, give him the free hand to operate. At least 1 year, 2 years, you can now say, oh boy, we made some agreements. Start doing 1 or 2 of this. Already has started doing before this matter. We got a chunk of the ESCO, the people that constitute the ESCO, and others and all that. And, so that's what triggered off that problem you have in Rivers.
You're blaming both of them. You're blaming Fubara for agreeing to be sponsored by Wike, and then
with the term of agreement.
But then again, don't you think that probably, yes, I know that they must have written or said something that you're going to give me some percentage of this and that. But don't you think that if the demands keep coming, like this is not what I signed for. I thought we are going to stick to a particular thing, but now the demand keeps coming on a daily. Do you still blame Fubara for that?
No, it's on the terms now. It's on the terms.
That whatever it is that I asked you to do, you are going to do it.
No, on the terms of agreement, there's something that they agree on. Like the chunk of ISCO that I said, some amount of money will be released to this. He agreed, so you should implement them. Like I said, you should have said, oh boy, this is too much for me to handle. Because you are there for a service.
Was it a case of, okay, when I get there, that is Fubara this time around, agreeing to sign whatever.
Because I just want to be a governor.
I just want to be a governor. Then when I get there, I will now use my executive power to see how I can handle this young man.
Yeah, some people.
Which happens in most states. You understand? We even recall one. Some people
had that intention.
You understand?
And that is what caused the problem. You know, they say, let me get into the office first. Then let us slug it out with the Godfather. Sometimes it's backfires. Sometimes, they live up to the tenure. Some does not live up to that. So, but like I said, on my own personal opinion, if the terms of agreement do not suit me ab initio, I will opt out.
You opt out?
Yes.
And then you kiss the opportunity to be governor.
Yes.
Okay, so what we are seeing in the front page of
there's
this
other jobs to do now.
It's what Lamido is saying. Of course, the governor waded into the matter to solve it, and then yesterday or the day before yesterday, we talked about signing a peace deal and peace party. Yeah. Now, Lamido is saying that Tinubu didn't broker peace in Rivers, that he just enhanced APC's fortunes.
You can,
it's
understandable.
That, you understand?
And then, yes, because they said that they are not going to go back to PDP.
Well, it's a gain for them, because 27 is not a small number with their followers. So they have that in their kitty. The impeachment threat, I think, has
been withdrawn, yes.
But the thing is that it enhances APC's fortunes. I can tell you that, because the Fubara himself, I learned from some other thing that they use intimidation, they use all these things to get him to sign or agree on their terms. So it's like he's there as a boy, doing the biddings of some people, just for him to stay as governor. That's the thing.
Okay. We have other papers under review this morning, and the next one is the Nation newspaper. With the big story there, Hilltide, federal government offers free train rides to travelers. Bus passengers get 50% rebate. 2 APC Senate seats declared vacant. Enter Senator Lalong. Rivers, G27 withdraws sack against sack notice to Fubara. Tinubu asks Senate to clear 11 justices for Supreme Court. Nigerian equities market value hit 40 trillion naira. Amosu Shimole exchange salvos over APC tussle. And then Oyetola panel to battle truck blockade on Apapa Port Road. Bank promissory note, contractors' bills push debt profile to 87.91 trillion naira. External debt fall from $43.16 billion to $41.59 billion. Okay, and we can still see there, give air passengers daily weather updates. Okonkwo tells NIMET. Should this even come in the front page of a paper? Isn't it their duty to give airlines weather updates? Yes.
Does it mean that we'll be flying blind?
I mean, most of our planes flying. But then, sometimes, I just keep seeing fraud with this government's free train and 50% rebate. Sincerely speaking, what modalities do they even have for Nigerians to access this thing?
It's like, you know, earlier you said it could be the federal government-assisted
Yeah.
mass transit.
No.
But now, in the front page of Daily Independent, they said Tinubu cuts interstate luxury buses.
Yeah.
So, which one? Which
How do you access it?
That is a problem.
Do you get to the park and then just show them this
Confusion.
The paper headline and say, please, I want to go to where I'm going to. Okay, if the fare is 40,000, this is 20,000.
20,000.
How do you access it? I don't understand. Is it for every person? Now, in the areas where they are not railroad, so what happens to them? Okay, you travel to where the train is and then
And the board.
board and go where?
Yeah, probably if you are coming to the east, if you are in
The
Abuja
highest-
or Kaduna, you from Kaduna come to Abuja.
The highest you have in the
Then
east,
you take care.
I think
yeah,
it's
so-
Abo. That's the terminals they have.
Yeah, so if you get to Abo,
Yeah.
then you can now take
Board and go to
cost,
Abuja.
Yes, maybe it's easier that way. You will cut costs. So
How do Nigerians access this?
let's wait. Maybe by tomorrow they will now give us the modalities on how they have
The modalities should have been given, then you now announce it that these are the modalities in place.
The intention.
So people, these are where you can go to access these buses. Now, we read in one of the papers, 5 states, Gombe, Plateau, Kwara and the rest of it, said they don't have any
Information.
no
or
information
anything
about
that.
this whole thing. So how
Okay,
does
with this
anybody-
information, almost all the papers we have this morning, probably the questions will be asked. Maybe Ministry of Transport will
Yeah.
give them more clarity on
clarity.
how this thing will be implemented. So let's just keep our fingers crossed, hoping
Yeah,
that
but-
maybe by tomorrow or next, we'll see the modalities being rolled out.
But that's
Christmas-
not the best way to approach the issue.
Yes.
You know, they keep on making such a jumping the bell thing before giving the bell itself.
Yeah.
Fuel subsidy, is gone. Things like that, without any, preparation, and they're giving the people update what you're about to do.
I'm sure this is even going to cause more pain to Nigerians, because lots of people will go with half the price of where they are going to, and then you get to the bus and they tell you
To be
aware
disappointed.
of
nobody paid the remaining. I mean the other 50%. If you're traveling, this is the amount, and they said it's for 15 days.
Like I said, ab initio, I'm not comfortable
So now
and
you might-
interested with this ad hoc cosmetic approach they are doing. That I dash you thing, and I'm not, such things is very archaic, awkward, and all that. They
This
should
is
do
more like
something that
this is more like taking Nigerians for granted, and these are the areas where I expect the NLC to come up and say, federal government, how are you going to achieve this? You understand? If you really want to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians, you understand? How are you going to achieve this? You don't come up on the 21st of December and then tell us that this is what you have for Nigerians without no prior
They've
notice.
talked now. They said the federal government is confused.
They
That's
support-
what we saw in the front page. Of
yeah.
They are just they are
You know.
demanding wage awards, because to them this particular plan is not just going to
It's not
work
going to
out.
work.
It's
So
not working.
they are talking about the one they feel that this one will be a better option for us, giving us
Even
wage award.
the-
Let's not talk about, because if you pay civil servants very well, I think
They can
have
cope.
enough
They can cope.
to travel to wherever they want to
Yes.
travel this season. But someone will ask again, we don't have only civil servants. What about businessmen and all that? So maybe that's where this
Yeah,
transport
consider-
fair
yeah,
came in.
Then it should be done properly.
They
It
should
should
be
be
done
done properly.
properly.
You know the transport companies
Have you
in
seen-
each state.
Have you seen the what they call federal government mass assisted buses flying the states for Anambra?
It's been a long time. You understand? It's been a long time I've seen such.
So,
Quickly, let's go
let's
to the
forget
next
about
paper
this.
for review, which is the Guardian newspaper, and then we have the banner headline: Correctional Service, 78,446 inmates in dire straits over 750 naira daily feeding cost. Wow. And then we have the diagram there saying 78,446 inmates across 253 custodial centers in Nigeria, and we have 76,670 of them to be male and 176 only female inmates. Inmates in their streets. Okay, we have 75 naira daily feeding costs. That's for the inmates. And then we have 800 naira per day for security dogs. And 50,401 inmates awaiting trial, while 3,271 on death row nationwide. Why Nigerian universities are ranked low globally, that you can find on page 7 of The Guardian. Yaba Psychiatric Hospital records 100% admission spike, says CMD. Tinubu slashes fare by 50% for travelers during Yuletide. Public debts rise to 87.9 trillion naira despite $1.5 billion drop in external components. Lagos, Ogun, Nigeria's most economically viable state, says report. Fubara denies signing peace deal under duress, refuses to withdraw suit. Akpabio swears in Lalong into 10th Senate, declares Umaye Giadam seat vacant. And that time to prosecute indicted electoral offenders. That's all we have on The Guardian this morning. Sir Jerry Obodo. Yeah. Wow. In the Nigerian correctional services, I think the dog is more valuable than humans. For them to be fed with 800 naira per day and humans, inmates, get fed for 750 naira.
The dogs normally.
Or is it a case of the dogs can't speak, so you can allocate any amount for them and then that okay. Since humans can speak, you understand?
This dog is, they call it security dog. So it's not just an ordinary dog. Yeah. Even the ones they have, the individuals have in their homes, they even spend more than 800. So I'm not perturbed with them spending 800 on the dogs. The dogs, give services to the security men. They sniff, they give a helping hand for the security men and women. So that I don't have any quarrel with that. Inmates 750 daily. That's not.
If it's 3 meals in a day, that we divide it by 3, it's 250.
250. Okay.
Yes.
That's low. That's low. Considering the present situation in the country. No, since they say 750 daily.
That's what I say.
Means it will be divided into 3.
Into 3, yes.
The atmosphere there is very, very terrible and horrific. For them to divide 750 into 3 times, one can only make sure that it doesn't get in there. Do as much as you can not to get in there, because it's horrible. It's not like one we have in advanced climes. Europe. When you get there, you'll be enjoying the place. They'll be even giving you some money. So
this is not funny. Like you as a normal human being, you know that 750 naira cannot even buy you a decent plate of food. But now we are talking about unless they feed them once a day. I don't know how it's happened there, but where they really need help. I mean, this particular thing needs to be upgraded. Even if it's 1,500 naira per day, it's something. If you are dividing it into 3, that's 500 naira per meal. Yeah, to some extent, that is better than 750 naira. That is 250 naira per meal. But I don't know how they feel in a day, whether it's two course meal or just 1 meal a day. But even at that, the 750 is still very poor. And that's why it's appeared at the front page of a national newspaper, because they need help. It needs to be upgraded. Even the 800 naira for dogs, to me, it's nothing, because just like our guest said, that if you are really training that dog because they are security dogs, 800 naira will do little or nothing for them at the end of the day. So the federal government should do better.
Should have to do.
Why do we have
what
this
they are
number
doing.
of people in correctional centers?
Well, I think the chunk of this comes from this awaiting trial thing. It's a very big problem, and all the judges and they are, scouting for where to grab money, do this, do that. They are not looking at what constitutes a problem. Somebody will be charged to court and is dumped into a waiting trial. The case will not come up. And it keeps building up people in this thing. Some cases that does not even require going to the prison to stay. They just the judges keep come today, come tomorrow, come today, come tomorrow. They are not discharging their duties responsively, So it is a problem. Let the judges, CJN or whatever, let them look into this and see how they can, reduce the number of people awaiting trial. It's constituting a nuisance to the country. Those that has a billable of that can just go home and in abroad they do, stay at home and do some work and that and that, not congesting the prison. Little things doesn't require to go to the prison. So that's my take on that.
All right. Another funny but not so funny story there is Yaba Psychiatric Hospital records 100% admission spike.
Wow. That's to tell you that Nigerians are going through a whole lot. You understand? The economy is biting into a whole lot of people. You understand? And then people are losing it. Take it or leave it. You understand? The level of sanity in an average Nigeria has dropped to an abysmal low. You understand?
Level.
It is very, very low.
Just
Where the
this
government,
morning, as I was coming to work, I met two men on different occasions talking to themselves where they were working on the way.
Can you imagine?
They weren't answering calls. I saw one even saying something, pointing. I don't know who the man was talking to, just to show you the level of me.
A lot. We are going through a lot.
The Nigerians are going through a lot.
Yes.
And
so many people are depressed.
Stressed up. At this moment, I have seen what we used to see in Lagos, sleeping under the bridge. It has come to Anambra. I have seen some men sleeping under trees. What they do, they put this mattress.
Yes, cool mattress that they can roll in the morning.
Use this old paper cartons to do their pillow and all that. I said, wow, this is a problem that we are going through because they can't afford the house rent, feeding wahala. So
and they don't want to go back to the village.
Yeah, they don't want to go back to the village. So it's
biting hard.
These are areas where I feel the government should actually come in and then begin to provide solutions. You understand? Because very soon, just like we read in one of the papers this week, you understand, the out of school children being a time bomb in the north.
In the north.
Of course. You understand? Because when you see young minds unable to eat, first and foremost, then you're talking about 100% spike. And these are for adults. These are people that have responsibilities. It's enough for the country to really worry. Because we are sitting on the keg of gunpowder because a little spark, this country might just engulf. It's not a case of coming here to hoodwink us with 50% slashing of what is it called, bus fare and the rest of it. This is not the palliative that Nigerians
That is not accessible.
This is not the palliative that Nigerians
The thing is, I made up my mind that the government is not the government for the poor. It's for the rich. And what is playing out buttresses the point.
The buying of the cars worth 160 million for the House of Reps or Senators. The take home for some small breaks. The increases in FS. All those things, we tell you that they are not for the poor. The fuel wahala, nobody is talking of an complete solving of the problem, not cosmetics approach, which still instills hardship to the people. So you can see that it's a government that does not have the poor people in mind.
At all. Well, let's see.
We have to go because we don't have time again. Our time is fast spent. We want to say a very big thank you to you, Sir Jerry Obodo, for being part of Press Review this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me and rubbing minds together.
Yes. What we can only be here to analyze what the paper says and also appeal with the federal government at all levels to see what they will do to make life easier for the masses.
Alleviate the sufferings of the masses.
Well, on that note, we want to say a very thank you to you for joining us on Press Review this morning. My name is Chidinma Orama.
And I'm Ajuluchukwu Akabwe, saying thank you for being with us.